Second degree equations. So, earlier we have seen first degree equations, which we can call normal equations. For example, it was 7x equals 249, and the result here is x equals to 7. Now we will take a look at another type of equations. X squared minus 6x minus 7 equals 0. Okay, so what can we do here? We can take the minus 7 and move it to the other side, but it won't help us, because what can we do now? Divide it by x. Okay, so this is not the way to solve it. So, before we solve it, I want to show you something else. I will put it here. Let's take a look at this expression, or we can call it also an equation. X minus 7 multiplied by x plus 1 equals 0. Okay, so what are the results for this equation? Think about it, because the result is 0. So we have the left element, here we have the multiplication, and here we have the right element. So if this element will be 0, then it does not matter what this element will be. It could be 100 or 1 million or 1,000. It multiplied by 0, so it will result in 0. So if any of those expressions, the left one or the right one, will be 0, this equation will be correct, because it will 0 all the left side. So let's check when this one will become 0. When x minus 7 is 0, when x equals to 7. Okay. And when x plus 1 is 0, when x equals to minus 1. Yeah, we can check it. 7 minus 7 is 0. And minus 1 plus 1 is also 0. So those are the two results for this equation. I want to go over it again. When we have two elements where we multiply them together, if any of them is 0, then all the expression becomes 0, because 0 times everything is 0. So to solve the equation where we have expression multiply by expression equals 0, we just need to check when any of them is 0. And how we did it? We have calculated it in our head. When x minus 7 is 0, when x is 7, so 7 minus 7 is 0, and also here. So we can solve this type of equation very easily. Actually, almost. So, but let's take a look and let's open the brackets here. We will multiply x by x, which is x squared, and we will multiply minus 7 by x, which is minus 7x, and we will multiply this x by plus 1, which is plus x, and then we will multiply the minus 7 times 1, which is minus 7, equals 0, and then let's rearrange it. X squared minus 7x plus x is minus 6x minus 7 equals 0. So this equation is actually this one, but earlier it was very pretty. It was prettier than this one, because we like an equations where we have brackets because it makes it simple. When we see an equation written like this, we can solve it very easily. But like this, we can't. We need to transfer it to look like this. So let's learn how we can do it. So actually, let's write it down again. Okay, so we can see that the minus 7 here is coming from the minus 7 here multiplied by 1. So minus 7 multiplied by plus 1 result in minus 7. So we know that this number times this number must result with this number. So when we can see only this equation, which we should solve, then we already know that there will be here an x, and there will be here also an x, and then we can't know what to put here. This is our problem. We must figure it out. So maybe 3 and 2. No, 3 and 2 is not an option because 2 multiplied by 3 results in 6, but we have here 7. So what multiplied by what will result us with a 7? Only 7 and 1. So we can understand that right here we should have 7 and 1. Because 7 and 1 are the only numbers in the world which are not fractions, which results in multiplication of 7. So now we should think about the signs right here. Maybe minus and minus, maybe minus and plus, maybe plus and plus. How can we figure it out? Therefore, we have this element also. We have minus 6x, which comes from those numbers also, because this 7 will be multiplied by an x also, and this one will be multiplied by the x also. So if we want to get to minus 6x, we can see for sure that the minus 7 should be presented with a minus, because if it will be a plus, it will be plus 7x. Plus 7x is not getting us near to the minus 6x. We need it to be negative, minus 7, but minus 7x, we need to add it a little more, so it will become minus 6x, because minus 7 is not minus 6. So we will take this one and put plus next to it. So minus 7x plus 1x results in minus 6x, and then we can solve this equation, which is actually like solving this equation. So let's take a look at another example and see how does it work. Sorry. Okay, this is a good one. X squared minus x equals 0. X squared minus x equals 0. So we know that it will look like this with an x and an x, and we need to think 6, what can result us with two numbers here? There are two numbers that the multiplication of them should be 6. So 6 and 1, yeah, because 6 times 1 is 6. Okay, so if we will put here 6 and 1, how can we get also to the minus 6? Let's try. Let's put here my 6, let's put here 1. So if we put here minus and here minus, it will be minus 6x minus x, which is minus 7x. But we need minus 1x. Okay, so maybe it's not a minus and a minus, maybe it's plus here and minus here. So minus 6x plus 1x, it's minus 5x. I can't figure out a way how we can get to minus x because we have 6 and 1. 6 and 1 will always result only in 5 or 7 or something near to them. The answer is there is more couples which their multiplication is 6. For example, 2 and 3. With 2 and 3, the multiplication is 6, and we can get to minus x. How will we get to minus x? We will put a minus here and the plus here. So let's open the brackets. X times x, x times minus 3, 2 times x, and 2 times minus 3. It will be x squared minus 3x, because the minus 3x. Then plus 2x, then minus 6, which is x squared minus x minus 6, which equals to 0. So we did it. We can solve now this equation instead of this one, because this one is better, this one is simpler. So what are the results? We need, as we said earlier, we need each side, each expression to be 0. When x minus 3 is 0, when x equals to 3, when x plus 2 is 0, when x equals to minus 2. So the results are 3 and minus 2. We can watch it here. The app did exactly what we did, and then x1 is 3 and x2 is minus 2. This is how we solve second degree equations. We can of course learn more with the app. We have a lot of videos here and a lot of lessons here and infinite exercise amounts.